Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you this Hamilton Beach 12 cup coffee maker. It's called the Hamilton Beach Smart Connect. So you can control this with your Amazon Alexa device. You can wake up in the morning and say, Alexa, turn the coffee maker on. And supposedly it'll turn on and start brewing your coffee. I did a detailed review on how the coffee maker works as far as the coffee maker, as far as putting water in. You put water in here. You put your coffee, it takes a basket style. You put how much coffee grounds to put in and clean up. This video is mainly gonna be with setting up the Wi-Fi. It's got this new Wi-Fi switch. So check out my other video if you want to learn how to make the coffee. But this coffee maker has been around for a while. This is what Hamilton Beach claims. It fits underneath a cabinet because you've got this front access. You can pour the water in, and then there's where the filter basket is. So this one's been around a while, but they added this Wi-Fi switch. So it's got this Wi-Fi switch here. And in my other video, I go through, it's got a bold and regular strength brew, and you can set the time. Now the Alexa app will supposedly set the time too. And it's got this big on-off switch. That's how if you want to brew a pot of coffee right now, you would just hit that button. But this brew ready light. So the main things I'm going to be dealing with are this Wi-Fi button and this brew ready. See this big green light? That's when you want to hand control over to your Alexa device. And there's a big sticker up here. It says, ready to brew light must be green to brew with remote commands. So, like I said, I'm going to put my filter and my coffee grounds in. I'm going to close this. I'm going to put my water in. I've got some water in there right now just to kind of play around with this. I'm going to put my water and coffee in. That way, then when I've got it all hooked up, I'll put the switch in ready to brew. That means my Alexa device can control it. Because you don't want to turn the coffee maker on. If it doesn't have any water or coffee, it's not going to make any coffee. So there's a little bit of work you got to do on your part. But if you get it ready to go in the morning, you will be able to control it with just your voice controls. So one thing about this coffee maker is like I said, you can turn it on and off right from this switch here. It used to be the older model of this before they added Wi-Fi. You could program this to come on at like 5 in the morning from the control panel. That's no longer the case. You have to do it through the Amazon Alexa app now. Okay, so here I've got the manual here. It says you got to have the Alexa app already. You're going to plug in the coffee maker, select devices in the icon, click the plus button, and we should see the word coffee maker from the list of devices. Follow the on-screen instructions. So we're going to give that a try. Okay, so here's the home screen to the Alexa app. And I'm going to click on the devices down at the bottom right. Now I'm going to click on the little plus button. I'm going to click on the little plus button up here in the top right hand side. And I'm going to click on add a device. Then I'm going to scroll down. I could search for it, but there it is, coffee maker. I'm going to select coffee maker. It comes up with 3. I'm going to select the Hamilton Beach. Connect your Hamilton Beach to Alexa to set up your Hamilton Beach. So it's going to ask for permissions. I want to give it permissions for the camera, location, and Bluetooth. Click next. Yes, yes. And I'm going to click connect. Next. So, okay, now there's a barcode on the back of the coffee maker. There's a sticker. There's a barcode. I'm going to take a picture of that barcode. I'm going to scan it. There it is. Okay, so it takes a while. Okay, so when I was scanning it, I had to get it right in the center. I'm going to cancel this setup. I want to show you. This is a really important step. So we're going to add we're going to add a, where was was it? Oh yeah, coffee maker, Hamilton Beach. Next. I'm going to scan the barcode. Okay, so this is a little tricky. I want to show you. So first I was standing too far back, and it says we can't do it. So I'm going to try again. You have to get the squares exactly over it. See how I had the white squares exactly over it? Then it took it. Otherwise, it took it a while, and it wasn't going to take it. Okay, so it wasn't connecting at first, and I had to unplug the coffee maker and plug it back in. And the reason is because the blue light next to the Wi-Fi wasn't flashing. So unplug your plug. If it's not connecting, unplug it, plug it back in, and then that way your blue Wi-Fi light is flashing. And I'm going to add my coffee maker to a group. I'll call it kitchen. The coffee maker is added to my kitchen. Continue. Coffee maker is set up and ready to use. To control it says, Alexa, turn on coffee maker. Okay. My wake word is echo, though. I'm going to click done. So now if I go kitchen, click on kitchen, I've got, there it is. It shows a new device, a coffee maker. Power is off. Status not ready to brew. That's because I don't have that ready to brew light on. Brew strength. I can change the brew strength right there. So this create a routine down here at the bottom, this is where I don't know much about routines, but this is where you can have a routine where it comes on every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So this is where you can program it to come on every morning in the morning without even having to say a word. Okay, so I'm back on this screen. I'm going to hit the ready to brew light. See if anything changes. Yes. Okay, so see how it changed to ready to brew? And I can hit the big button. Okay, it turned the coffee maker on. I'm watching the coffee maker. And it turned the coffee maker off. But one thing I did notice, so when I cycling the power on and off, the ready to brew light on the coffee maker is not lit now. Okay, so this wasn't as simple as you would think. The instructions are not very clear. Here's the Amazon Alexa app. I used it on my tablet. You click the little add button, and I screen recorded this, but I want to show you some things. We want to add a device, and we scroll down. This is where we add a coffee maker, and I show you this on the screen. It comes up with Hamilton Beach, and it says make sure you got all the camera and everything on. But what I want to show you, so here's the barcode. This is on the back of the coffee maker. You got the sticker. Now, on your camera, when you're using your device, so on your camera, you're going to have these little brackets. Those brackets have to be exactly on the corners. Whenever I had the screen back too far, the brackets were up here. I was thinking it was like a normal QR code. Those things, they take whenever you're even close to them. But these little brackets, so on your camera screen, when it pops up, it's going to have these 4 little brackets. Those have got to be right on the edge of the black and white squiggly stuff. Once it's there, and if you don't get it the first time, it just says try again. It took me 3 times. But once you're straight on and you're got the brackets around that, it took it. And then it set it up. But here's the next thing. So it found it and then said, okay, I'm setting up the Hamilton Beach. But my coffee maker had been on for a while. And when you first turn these on, and the blue Wi-Fi light blinks for a while, blinks for a couple minutes because it's searching for the network. When it can't find the network, it turns off. So the blue light is not flashing. What the instructions don't tell you is when you get to that step that it says it found it and now it's setting it up, it's wanting to see that blue light flash. Now, I tried pressing the button. I didn't get it to flash. I just unplugged it. So I unplugged my coffee maker, plugged it back in, and the blue light was flashing. Then it set it up. So there's a couple little tricks. Scanning that barcode just perfect, and then unplugging and plugging your coffee maker back in to get that blue light to flash. It flashes every time you plug it in for the first time because it's wanting to set it up. Now it's on steady. Now I can see it on my devices. So if I go to devices and I put it in the kitchen, there's the coffee maker. And I click on it. It says the power's off. Now here's where this important thing comes in. So it talks about this brew ready. So I cannot do anything to it. It says not ready to brew. So I can change it to bold. So I can change it to bold and off. No, so I couldn't power it on. The reason I couldn't power it on is because I haven't given control of it yet to the Alexa device. So I got to press this button. That turns the green light on. Now it says ready to brew. Clean. Oh, it even has this cleaning required. That's nice. It's got a time sense brew. That's really nice. So again, I can change the bold, regular, and that changes it on the screen. But here's the neat thing. So I'm going to put this like this. So I'm going to hit the power on, like I was ready to brew. That's basically what it would do. If you turn power on, you better have your coffee and your water in, because it's like hitting this switch here. It's going to start the brew process. So yep, it's pretty instantaneous. So it turned it on. Now and I can also turn it off here. But here's the thing with turning it off. So say you turn it off prematurely, or like say you forgot and you leave and you're at work and you want to turn it off. I can turn it off. So I'm going to hit the off button. So it did start brewing. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, it turned it off. But here, if you notice, the green light is not on. So once I run through like a cycle, you would say, the green light's not on. Now I can't control it. It's going to say, no, please press the ready to brew button on your coffee maker. So I don't have control of this anymore. I've got to come up here and hit this ready to brew. Then that's going to change to ready to brew, and then I can control it. Okay, so now I've got it all set up. Like I said, so let's pretend I was laying in bed. I just woke up, and I did this last night. I put my water in. I've got my coffee in, my coffee grounds and filter. I turned the ready to brew light on when I went to bed, and I went to bed. So say I'm laying in bed, and now I want to say, I'm gonna say the word. Mine is echo. Echo, turn the coffee maker on. Now, I don't know if you heard that. It didn't say anything. You get that, like when you turn your lights on and off, you get that bung bung, bung bung. I thought it was going to say like, hey, I turned the coffee maker on or something. And maybe you can set that up. I don't know yet, but you just get like a little notification sound that it turned it on. So and so it would finish the brew, and it would keep, now this would act like a normal coffee maker now, and it would keep this warm for 2 hours. So I'm also going to demonstrate, I'm going to turn it off. Echo, turn the coffee maker off. And there I got that same bung bung, just a little sense of a beep, bung bung, and it turned it off. So it does work. So there are some features you can talk to it. Echo, what's the brew strength on my coffee maker?
Coffee maker brew strength is regular.
Echo, set the coffee maker brew strength to bold. Okay, so it changed it, but all I got was that bing bing. Echo, is my coffee maker on?
Coffee maker time since brew is.
So that was kind of like a timer, but I turned the ready to brew back on. Echo, turn my coffee maker on. Echo, is my coffee maker on?
Coffee maker brew status is brewing.
Wow, that's pretty cool. There, so you got the bung bung, but you had to ask it a question in order to get it. Oh wow, that's cool. Echo, how long before my coffee's done?
There are no timers set.
Echo, when will my coffee pot be done?
Coffee maker brew strength is gold.
Okay, so there's not a lot you can do with it. Echo, is my coffee maker on? Echo, is my coffee maker on?
Coffee maker time since brew is unavailable as brew is in operation.
So that's kind of a nice feature. So it'll give you a timer since brew. So I just showed you that so say you were at work and you forgot to turn your coffee maker off. It will, now it's still going to turn off after 2 hours automatically. That's usually, I mean, if you had just a little bit left in there, you might get some burnt coffee on the bottom of it, but usually in 2 hours you don't get a bunch of burnt coffee. But say you were at work and you wanted to make sure it was off, you could just hit the power button. So I do get a status. It says brewing. So if you click this little, so I'm still in the coffee maker, if you click this little icon there, you can edit the name. So maybe if you had the kitchen coffee maker or whatever you wanted to name it, shows that it's connected, gives a description, type, manufactured device, time zone. You know, one thing I did notice, as soon as it did set the time. I had the time, actually I didn't have the time set, and it matches the time on my device. It gives, and I guess you can enable it or disable it. So I don't know much about the routines. I'm going to do another video on the routines on this coffee maker. Just a little bit I know about the routines. I think you can like say one word and it'll do several different things. So you could say good morning and it might tell you the news, turn your coffee maker on, and turn some lights on and turn the heat on. Those routines are very, very detailed is what they can do. And I think by doing saying one word, you can program a bunch of different stuff, but I'm gonna have to play around with that on a different video. Okay, so while it's finished brewing, let's go over the Wi-Fi light. So what you want to see is steady blue. That's good. That means it's online and connected to your internet. Basically, your Alexa app's going to be able to talk to it. If it's flashing, that means you're in setup mode. And that only happens whenever you first turn the coffee maker on. So to get it in setup mode, you may have to unplug it and plug it back in. Red, so this light can turn red. If your Wi-Fi light is red, that means you've lost connection. So maybe your Wi-Fi router's down, or maybe just the coffee maker lost Wi-Fi connection. Off, so off means it wasn't able to set up the Wi-Fi when you first plugged it in. So it'll sit there and flash blue and try to set it up. If it can't set up the Wi-Fi, it just turns it off. It says, well, you're using this coffee maker without Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna turn the light off and you don't see it. Now let's say you want to reset the Wi-Fi network. You say I wanted to forget this Wi-Fi. I take it to a friend's house, or I sell it, or you bought one used, or maybe you just are having trouble with it. You want to hold this button in for 10 seconds. The blue light will start flashing, then the red light comes on, it'll blink at you twice. Once that red light comes on after 2 seconds, then it's forgotten all the Wi-Fi. And then you'll have to use your app to set it all up again, because really there's no way for the coffee maker to connect to, you don't use the control panel to connect to Wi-Fi. You have to use, so the app talks to the coffee maker and then kind of tells the coffee maker what the Wi-Fi is and how to connect. So I'm pretty sure when you first set it up, like your device is going to have to be on the internet. I know, so I use my tablet, but if you were using your phone, make sure it's on the local internet, like the internet in your house. The Wi-Fi in your house, not connected to the cell towers. Now, once you've got it all set up and ready to go, you can control it from when you're on, like say you're at work or something. But when you're setting it up, I'm pretty sure you got to be on the local Wi-Fi that you're wanting the coffee maker to connect to. So one claim to fame on this, it says it's certified for humans. Now, I was kind of taken back by that statement. I had to really look into it. What were they meaning by that? That seemed really weird. But okay, so they're saying that this electronic device, it's very easy for somebody to connect to the Alexa device. It's kind of their way of saying, hey, it doesn't take an electrical engineer to figure out how to connect this to the Alexa device. Now, I would not say it's super easy. I was the guy that kind of always set the VCRs and stuff for everybody. So I kind of know gadgets and gadgets a little bit. You know, if I didn't know to make sure the blue light was flashing, if I didn't know to scan that barcode just exactly, I mean, I didn't know those things ahead of time, but I just kind of played around with it. You could get stuck on a couple steps. So is it easy? Yeah. The Alexa app is easy because I just clicked add device. You know, it found it after I scanned the barcode. So I would say it's probably 80% easy, but there are a few little tricks. I wouldn't say it's just a simple, hey, click on a little button and it's going to connect and you're going to be completely done. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say people probably run into some problems and it could be a little tricky. Okay, so here's one thing. This just changed. It did say brewing. So I just been playing with water right now. So my coffee maker just finished brewing. I only did like 7 cups. But this changed to coffee is ready. And then it says time since brew. So it doesn't give you an actual timer. It just says less than 30 minutes. So that's a little different. So I've just been playing around with it a little bit. I asked it, Echo, is my coffee ready?
Sorry, what device?
Coffee maker.
Coffee maker brew status is coffee ready.
So it does, it takes a little bit, but Echo, what's my coffee maker status?
What setting?
No, I don't want to change the setting. So if you use the words that are on the app, Echo, what's the time since brew?
Coffee maker time since brew is less than 30 minutes.
Okay. Echo, what's the brew status?
Coffee maker brew status is coffee ready.
Okay, so it really likes when you use the exact words. Echo, is my coffee maker cleaning due?
I couldn't find that on your calendar.
Echo, does my coffee maker require cleaning?
Here's something I...
Okay, so I'm just playing around. Sorry about that. One thing I do want to try is, so these things lose their time whenever they're unplugged or lose power. Let's see if it loses its Wi-Fi. So I've got the blue lights on. I'm just going to unplug it. It's powered down. I'm going to wait a little bit. Okay, let's plug it back in. Not sure what was going on there. I had to unplug it and plug it back in again. It didn't like power up, but the second time it did. Okay, so I left it unplugged for 3 or 4 minutes. It looks like it all came back. Again, there's that fancy green light that you're going to want to see, and that's why they got this big sticker on the front. And then let's turn it on. Yep, I can. Okay, so I can control it. It didn't lose its Wi-Fi setting. So I just unplugged it a little bit longer. That is really nice. So the coffee maker, it automatically comes up with the right time, and it comes up with the setting. Let me see one more thing. Let's say I've got it ready to brew. Let me unplug it this way. And while I've got it unplugged, you don't have any status of the device. Okay, so I'm going to plug it back in. Okay, so it doesn't, so if you lose power in the middle of the night, you're not going to be able to tell your coffee maker to turn on, because I turned this on and simulated a power outage for just a couple minutes. And so again, if this green light is not on, you're not going to be able to control it with the Alexa device. And if you lose power, it turns that off. Now, the good thing is the Wi-Fi connected, the clock, you know, so it's ready to go. It's just, but you won't be able to stay in bed and tell it to come on without having that green light on. And then it takes a while. Everything's starting to show back up and populate on this. So I really enjoyed this video. I was kind of dreading the video just because, you know, it can be kind of confusing, I think. But I think this one is, other than those just a couple little hiccups, I think this is pretty doable for most people. I hope the video helps. And I really enjoyed it. And I think this is kind of a neat feature. This is not, you know, this is a pretty standard coffee maker. Again, check out my video on how to make a pot of coffee and also the descale. So if your clean light's on, I'm going to do a video on how to descale it. You really got to keep up on descaling these coffee makers. But I hope the video helped. It was a lot of fun. I'm really starting to get into these Echo devices, and I've done some smart switches and different things. They're kind of fun to play with. So if you could, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.